What's going on, everybody? My name is Phantomatic, and today I'm going to be showing you how to build Honkai Star Rail's newest 5-star Nihility chef, Jiaoqiu. Acheron mains celebrate because this foxen male hailing from the Jiaoqiu Yaoqing is a natural-born user of medicinal alchemy, and he doesn't just use medicine, but food itself. While he may give off healer vibes in-game, that's not the case, since he can debuff any foes with just a simple attack. As always, here are the materials you'll need to get your Jiaoqiu to level 80. Anyways, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and let's get to building.
Raw ingredients. Heat. Seasoning.
I know why they ain't know me, so I switch spots. Now we're running out of fish, so fuck a pit stop. I've been ballin' since a youngin', so I take shots. She just wanna fuck me cause she know I get guac. I hit the jackpot, you a mascot. I want big rocks on my wristwatch. I know why they ain't know me, so I switch spots. Now we're running out of fish, so fuck a pit stop. Hold the wrist, I had to get the bag. Ice on my wrist, diamonds move alive.
Eat freely and don't hold back. Please, do me the honor of tasting and offering your thoughts.
Jiaoqiu's technique, Fiery Queller, allows him to create a special dimension for 15 seconds, and once you enter combat with these enemies in the dimension, it'll deal fire damage equal to 100% of his attack and 100% base chance to apply his unique debuff stack, Ashen Roast, to all enemies. And to understand what his debuff does, let's look at his passive, Quartet Finesse, Octave Finery, which will allow Jiaoqiu's normal attack, skill, and ultimate to have a 100% base chance to apply one stack of Ashen Roast on enemies. And what Ashen Roast does is increase the damage received from enemies by 13.1%, and each stack increases this by 4.4%. Ashen Roast can be stacked up to a maximum of 5 times and only lasts for 2 turns. Note that enemies with Ashen Roast is also considered to be burned, which means they'll take fire damage equal to 158% of his attack at the start of each turn. Being able to consistently debuff targets and increase the damage they take with his passive already shows his worth to someone like Acheron. With guinaifen mains, you better watch out. His skill, Scorch Onslaught, allows Jiaoqiu to deal 131.3% of his attack in fire damage to a single target and 78.8% of attack in fire damage to surrounding enemies with a 100% base chance to apply Ashen Roast on the primary target. His ultimate, Pyrograph Arcanum, allows him to set the number of Ashen Roast on enemies to the max, creates a zone for 3 turns, and deals 90% of his attack in fire damage to all enemies. And when enemies are in the zone, they receive 13.5% increased ultimate damage. And when enemies take action, there's a 57.5% chance to be afflicted with 1 stack of Ashen Roast. Note that this can be triggered up to 6 times, and one enemy cannot trigger this effect more than once per turn. This ultimate is literally meant for Acheron. Not only do the enemies take increased ultimate damage with his ultimate, they also have a 50% base chance to be debuffed whenever they take action. Acheron mains, rejoice. His ascensions goes as listed. Ascension 2, Pyra Cleanse. Jiaoqiu immediately regenerates 15 energy at the start of the battle. Ascension 4, Heart Kindle. For every 15% of Jiaoqiu's effect hit rate that exceeds 80%, additionally increases the attack by 60% up to 240% max. Ascension 6, Seared Scent. While the zone created by his ultimate exists, any enemy entering combat will be inflicted with the highest number of Ashen Roast that any enemy currently has on the field.
Eat freely and don't hold back. Please, do me the honor of tasting and offering your thoughts.
When it comes to which traces you should be prioritizing to level up, in order it's going to be Talent, Ultimate, Skill, then Basic Attack. As for the mini traces, you want to go for the effect hit rate ones and speed ones respectively, and then go for the fire damage ones.
Eat freely and don't hold back. Please, do me the honor of tasting and offering your thoughts.
If you're wondering whether or not Jiaoqiu is worth pulling at E0, then I'd highly recommend putting your wallet back because he's honestly pretty good at E0. However, if you are looking to pull dupes, then I'd highly recommend going for E1, Phantomatic Transference, sadly E4, Leisure In, Luster Out, or E6, Notomophoric Pyrobind. His E1 allows allies to deal 40% increased damage to enemies affected with Ashen Roast, and if the Ashen Roast is applied due to triggering his passive, then instead of applying 1 Ashen Roast, it'll apply 2. This is honestly the furthest I'd recommend anyone going, since it's gonna cost you an arm and a leg to make going deep for these dupes worth it. His E2, From Savior Come Sufferer, will increase Jiaoqiu's Ashen Roast Fire dot damage by 300%. You can see why I wouldn't recommend going any further than E1. While yes, he deals dot, that's not primarily the focus of his kit, and quite frankly, it's not worth it. It's just really not worth it no matter how you look at it. His E4 will allow the zone created from his ultimate to reduce enemies' attack by 15%. Nothing can go wrong with reducing how hard enemies hit, but that doesn't justify going all the way to E4. And his E6 allows his Ashen Roast to be transferred to the enemy with the lowest number of stacks on the field, increases the max number of Ashen Roast stacks from 5 to 9, and will reduce all enemies all-type res by 3% with each stack. While this sounds pretty good, Black Swan can transfer her Arcana stacks without the need of going for dupes, if I recall correctly. But increasing the max stack and reducing the enemy's all-type res is honestly pretty good, but as I've said before, it doesn't justify going so deep.
Eat freely and don't hold back. Please, do me the honor of tasting and offering your thoughts.
Jiaoqiu's signature 5-star Lightcone, Those Many Springs, is his best 5-star option since it will increase his effect hit rate, and if he uses his basic attack, skill, or ultimate, then there's a 60% base chance to apply unarmored on them. And what this does is allow the enemy to take a certain amount of increased damage for 2 turns, and if the enemy has dot on them inflicted by Jiaoqiu, then there's a 60% base chance to upgrade unarmored to cornered, and what this upgrade does is add an additional percentage of increased damage to the target for 2 turns. The 5-star Lightcone Reforged Remembrance is his second best 5-star option since it will increase his effect hit rate, and if he deals damage to an enemy with Wind Shear, Burn, Shock, or Bleed, then each debuff will generate 1 stack of profit, which can be stacked up to 4 times max. And what this does is increase Jiaoqiu's attack, and the dots will ignore a certain amount of the enemy's defense. The 5-star Lightcone Incessant Rain is his third best option, since it will increase his effect hit rate, and if he uses his basic attack, skill, or ultimate, then there's a 100% base chance to apply Aether Code on a random enemy that doesn't have it for 1 turn. And what this does is increase the damage they receive by a certain amount. The 5-star Lightcone Solitary Healing is his 4th best option, since it will increase his break effect and increase the dot dealt by him when he uses his ultimate for 2 turns. And defeating an enemy with his dot will regenerate a certain amount of his energy. The 5-star Lightcone In the Name of the World is his 5th best option, since it will increase his damage dealt to enemies debuff and increases his skill's effect hit rate when he uses it, and also increases his attack. Patience Is All You Need is going to be Jiaoqiu's last 5-star option, since it will increase the damage dealt by him, increases his speed after every attack, which can be stacked up to 3 times, and has a 100% face chance to apply a roll to an enemy if they don't have it. And what this does is apply shock to enemies, which deals lightning damage equal to a certain amount of his attack. The 4-star Lightcone Eyes of the Prey is her best 4-star option, since it will increase her effect hit rate and his dot. The 4-star Lightcone before the tutorial mission starts is his second best 4-star option, since it will increase his effect hit rate and he'll regen energy if he attacks enemies who have reduced defense. Good Night and Sleep Well is his third best 4-star option, since it will increase his damage the more debuffs the enemies has. The 4-star Lightcone Resolution Shines as Pearls of Sweat is his last 4-star option, since it will give him a chance to apply Ensnared on an enemy if they don't have it already. And what this does is decrease the enemy's defense by a certain amount. The 3-star Lightcone Void is his only 3-star option.
Eat freely and don't hold back. Please, do me the honor of tasting and offering your thoughts.
The 4-piece Messenger Traversing Hackerspace is his best option since his speed increases by 6% with the 2-piece and increases all ally speed by 12% when he uses his ult with the 4-piece. The 4-piece Prisoner in Deep Confinement is his second best option, since it will increase his attack by 12% with the 2-piece and allows damage to ignore 18% max of the enemy's defense when the enemy has 3 debuffs with the 4-piece. The 2-piece Messenger set and 2-piece Prisoner set is his third best option, since it will increase his speed by 6% and increase his attack by 12%. The 2-piece Messenger set and 2-piece Pioneer set is going to be another option you can use, since his speed increases by 6% and increases his damage dealt to debuffed enemies by 12%. However, you can replace the Pioneer set with the 2-piece Firesmith set, which will increase his fire damage by 10%. As for the Planar Orbs, Sprightly Von Wach is his best option, since it will increase his energy regen by 5%, and when his speed reaches 120 or higher, then his actions will immediately be forward by 40% when entering battle. Pan Cosmic Commercial Enterprise is the second best option since it will increase his effect hit rate by 10% and increases attack equal to an amount of 25% of his current effect hit rate. Fleet of the Ageless is his third best option since it will increase his max HP by 12% and if his speed is 120 or higher, increases everyone's attack by 8%. Broken Keel is his last option since it will increase his effect res by 10% and if his effect res is 30% or higher, increases everyone's crit rate by 10%. As for your main stats on your relics, you'd want effect hit rate or attack percent on your body, speed on your boots, fire damage on your orb, and energy regen on your rope. As for your substats, effect hit rate is first, speed is second, attack percent is third, and flat attack is fourth.
Eat freely and don't hold back. Please, do me the honor of tasting and offering your thoughts.
Since Jiaoqiu is really new, there's not much flexibility that I know of, so the two teams he'd mostly benefit from is Acheron's team and Dr. Ratio's team. So, teams like Acheron, Aventurine, Pela, and Jiaoqiu, Acheron, Jiaoqiu, Pela, and Fushuan, Acheron, Jiaoqiu, Silverwolf, and Aventurine, Dr. Ratio, Jiaoqiu, Robin, and Aventurine, Dr. Ratio, Topaz, Jiaoqiu, and Aventurine, and lastly, Dr. Ratio, Jiaoqiu, Pela, and Aventurine all work really well with Jiaoqiu. Anyways, that's gonna be it for this build guide. I hope everyone was successful pulling Jiaoqiu. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next Honkai Star Rail video. Signing off.